Hi there folks, Matt Gemmell here once again. This time it's a bit of an update on work. I write books, as you may well know, and if you don't, my god, why the hell are you watching this? Did YouTube just throw it at you? My apologies. I most recently, last year, my god, it's 2025 now, released the third instalment in my Kestrel Techno Thrillers series called Jinx. It was a long time coming. It was sort of interleaved in terms of the writing process with my previous book, which wasn't in that series. And what I'm working on at the moment is, it's not a Kestrel book, it's a different, it's actually a different series, a series starter. Kestrel is still very much alive, and there will be further instalments, but with a long drawn out process of getting Jinx finished and released, I needed some time away, and something had been sort of percolating, I suppose I would say, in the background for a while, and that's what I'm working on. And it's interesting to approach a series in the opposite way. The opposite way from what? Well, from the way I did it before when I started the Kestrel series with Changer here. I knew by the time I'd written a little bit of it, it was going to be a series, but I had not really had that plan beforehand. So I had to kind of retrofit the series stuff and do it in a seat of the pants pantsing kind of way. And the same was largely true with the plot for Changer, and that made it quite a tough experience, and it's why I generally don't recommend starting off by pantsing. Instead, try to be a planner instead of a pantser, plan it out. But with this new thing, whose name I keep going to say, but I'm going to avoid saying for now, I've obviously had a long time to think about it before writing anything, so I've done some series planning, thinking about it in terms of not just individual entries, but the overarching, the plot that runs through the series, and there is one. And what I found two things. Firstly, that's a really fun thing to do instead of writing. Planning bits of a whole series and, getting a really big picture view of things. And the other thing that I found is that I don't actually like that much. I would have thought that I would, or at least that I would have appreciated the process, because I know what it feels like when you have to retrofit stuff and do your thinking as you go, and it's just it's such a amorphous kind of slippery feeling. But it turns out that planning from a whole series perspective, for me, whilst it's fun to do it in isolation, as you get closer to the point where you're going to start to write, it becomes quite paralysing and quite annoying. So, interesting learning experience. I wouldn't say I regret taking a series planning approach to this new thing, but I would say that I'm surprised that it has felt that way. The other thing about this this new series is that I want to write shorter books. The books that I've written so far, you've got Changer, Toll, Jinx in the Kestrel series, Middle Shade Road, the horror novel, and of course I've written loads and loads of short stories, but the novels are, they're all 90,000 words plus. And that is a lot of words. It's long. It's a big project. It's a serious undertaking. There's a big editing investment associated with it, and so on. And in terms of averages certainly in the techno-thriller genre, and also in the different genre that this new book and its series will be in, those word counts are high. So what I want to learn how to do, or teach myself how to do, is to write shorter books. Not massively shorter. We're not talking about like 50,000 words or whatever. I think that in a lot of cases that's just too short to effectively capture the kind of plot that I like to write and to work with, but 90,000 is getting on the long side. That's 90 to 95, which all of those books fall into. Instinctively, I wasn't, trying to make them all that length. That's The Hobbit. It's right in that range, sort of 95-ish thousand words. And if you read The Hobbit, that gives you sort of some idea. These books are that length. And it's, they look lovely. Granted, these are 5x8. You'd normally see the sort of smaller trade paperback would be correspondingly thicker. But yeah, I want to write shorter books with a commensurately abbreviated writing and editing time, and a quicker release cycle. So that's something that I really want to focus on. If you subscribe to my short stories, I do 3 weekly really short stories, sort of like 1,000, 1,200, 1,500 words. They come out on Mondays. You'll know there are certain genres I keep coming back to, and one of the reasonably common ones are sort of sci-fi type stuff, and the Kestrel Techno-Thriller series does touch on weird science, but by far the most common sort of genre or cluster of genres that I write in is the sort of horror, soft horror, paranormal, weird stuff kind of area. And of course, if you draw that circle big enough, then the Kestrel stories, even though they're techno-thrillers, there is a degree of a Venn overlap, but it's at the edges of the circles. It's not an almost complete overlap by any means. So this new book in the series, spoilers, is very much on that side of things. And I'm quite excited about it because that is my home genre, even though you wouldn't realise that from looking at my catalogue, except maybe the short stories. But it's what I read most, or have read most in my life, and it's definitely what I was reading when, as a young man, so long ago, my passion for fiction, my passion for writing was, first stoked. So I guess I finally given myself permission to write in the genres that I love the most in long form. So I'm pretty damn excited about that, and we're a fair way through it. It's not in the early stages. The writing process for the first book is ongoing, but as I said, there's a substantial amount of series planning, and I have cover art and some series assets and all that kind of thing. So all of the pieces are in place, and I'm just getting my head down and typing away. But yes, there's something interesting very much coming, and it has already taught me some interesting things about myself, you know, me who always says plan, 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 and indeed me who plans absolutely everything. I'm a packing lists and, you know, 10 reminders every morning for minor things that I just want to get done in a certain order, not even to do with work, just life. Very much a planner, but it turns out there is a line to be walked somewhere between the two worlds of pantsing and planning, and at least when it comes to multi-book arc stuff, as arduous as it was with Changer, I am finding that these days I prefer to go a bit more with instinct. So we'll see how that plays out as the work progresses, and I'll have more to share with you about that new book and new series in the coming months. Thanks very much for watching. Take care.